Vitaliy Markiv recalls June 2017, the day when she saw her husband for the last time. The couple arrived in Italy on vacation, but it was not to be.
On June 30th, we arrived at Bologna airport and got off the plane. Vitaly's stepfather met us. We drove literally 600 meters from the airport when the carabinieri surrounded us. There were many people, many journalists. We collected all our documents and belongings, and they took Vitaliy into their car. A carabinieri got into our car and we drove to a police station where Vitaliy was interrogated. They let us go, but not Vitaliy.
Vitaliy Markiv was accused of killing Italian photographer Andrea Rocchelli and his interpreter Andrei Mironov. This took place in Donbas back in 2014. The charge was later changed to complicity in murder. Markiv was a volunteer soldier who took part in battles near the city of Slavyansk. At the time, it was controlled by pro-Russian militants. The city was constantly under fire. Andrea Rocchelli and French journalist Vitaliy Markiv arrived in occupied Slavyansk to report about the war.
They were at the very center of the military conflict. All their colleagues knew that they should not be there at the time. It was a flashpoint. Obviously, they were shooting from both sides. It was a war.
Rocchelli and his interpreter came under fire and died. Vitaliy Markiv survived and testified in court. He said it was Ukrainian soldiers who opened fire. His evidence was the only grounds for imprisoning Vitaliy Markiv for 24 years.
Rogelon never saw a Ukrainian soldier in real life. He just said that in his opinion, there was shooting from the Ukrainian side. But he didn't say he had seen it. So it turns out he simply decided that this was the case. It is not objective. At the trial, he said that they had fired from the left side. Our soldiers were 2 kilometers away from the murder scene on Karachun Hill, which is behind. When Rogelon was explaining what he saw, he denied Vitaly's guilt. But when he began to express his assumptions, he accused him of being guilty. It is just his guesswork.
At that moment, there were hundreds of soldiers near Slavyansk. It is unclear why Vitaliy Markiv was charged with the murder. Italian prosecutors said it was Markiv who informed the Ukrainian military of the whereabouts of the journalists. The soldiers, in turn, fired at them with mortars. The grounds for Markiv's sentence will be known only in mid-October. For now, he is being held behind bars. He writes letters to his loved ones and calls them.
We are allowed to call each other once a week and have a 10-minute talk. Every week he sends me a letter and I do the same.
Here is a fragment of a letter Vitaliy sent to his grandmother in the Ternopil region. He jokingly calls her Baba Zhaba, a toad granny.
Do not worry too much and stay away from the hospitals. I still want my dear toad granny to look after my kids and her great-grandchildren. Take care of yourself and don't worry much. When Mom comes here, she always brings greetings from you and says that you pray for me. Please, thank your friends and colleagues for their prayers and worries. I'm sincerely grateful to them. I read your prayers again and again and always turn to God before going to sleep, just like when I was at war.
Markiv's lawyers are planning to appeal his verdict, but it will be possible only 2.5 months from now, after the court publishes its rationale for the ruling. Markiv's lawyers will appeal the verdict in Milan in 2020. Reported by Angela Lashko and Anastasia Fetchenko for UATV.